How are you? Hope you all are fine. Welcome to today's class. Okay, today we are doing some separation methods. That is the last part of our lesson. This is the last portion of the lesson, and in the previous class and all we are discussing about the separating the components, different separation methods we are, how we are using and what are the names and all. Are you remembering all that? Are you studied all that? Yes. Okay. Hope all this clear to you. Okay. And now today we are going to discuss the last separation method in this chapter. That is known as crystallization. Okay. Before starting crystallization, we know that different types of separation methods. Right. What are the things or what are the methods, different separation methods we done in the previous class? Can you say some names? That methods name? Yes. Sublimation, evaporation, centrifugation, and separating funnel we are using, and that type of separations we done, and distillation methods, two types of distillation methods also, and chromatography also. All these are one of the other, it is different. Right, all these are related to the solute and solvent. Okay, depends on the characters of solute and solvent. That time we are choosing which separation method is okay for that. Okay, then only we are selecting each and every method, and we are doing all that. Okay, here crystallization is doing. So crystallization means, in the name we can understand, the separation of pure substance from its impure form. What is meant by pure substance and what is meant by impure substance? In the starting time, that means in the first video we discussed about that substance. If a substance is pure, meaning is what? Yes, pure substance mean in that substance contain only one kind of atoms or thing, or a substance, the elements. That element contain only one type of atoms are present there. So for example, that is our water, same type of molecules are there, and gold is there. Gold means same type of atom, 24 karat gold and all. It is, we know that it is same, only one type of atom is present there. So all of these are very good examples for the pure substance. Okay, and salt solution, sugar solution, all that like. Same like pure substance we need for most of the cases. And how we are getting that pure substance from an impure substance? What is meant by impure substance? Yeah, the substance is not pure. Not only one kind of atoms or things or particles are present in that. Different kinds of atoms or particles already it's there. We need to separate that particle from that impure substance. That method is known as crystallization method. Okay, here in your textbook one activity is there. So that activity we just check. Here we are telling, we are taking little copper sulfate powder. That means impure copper sulfate. And we are not sure that is pure or not. What is the formula of copper sulfate? CuSO4. That copper, sulfur and oxygen components are present. So it's a compound. Right. So from that substance we need a pure copper sulfate substance. Okay. That means we need to purify that one. That is, impurities are present there. Okay, different components are present there, and some are dust, maybe dust particles or some other simple, normal, very minute microparticles are present there. So from that substance we need to purify. What we will do? Yes, we will take little powder in a china dish or a watch glass. Okay, so after that we are adding little water, and finally we are making a solution. And first case we need to separate, means we are using that filtration process, right? So when we are adding water, that time the substance is almost dissolving in that solution. Okay, so in that time little impurities are comes out. That time how to filtrate? Yes, filter paper we will use. So from that filter, using with the help of filter paper, what we will do means we will filtrate that solution. So we will take one funnel, and on the top we will put filter paper, and slowly that solution will add. So the big particles or what are the things depositing on the down, it is there. Okay, so that like the way we can separate. and we just fold the filter paper on the top. നമ്മൾ തുണിയൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും സാധനം തുടയ്ക്കത്തില്ല ഇങ്ങനെ ഉപ്പുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്യും, അതേപോലെ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക, സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക, ഫിൽറ്റർ പേപ്പർ കൊണ്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക. ഓക്കെ, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് വി ആർ മേക്ക് ദം ടു ഡ്രൈ or otherwise dried form, and then we are keeping in the room for a whole day, and the next day you can see that it is almost in a dried form, or otherwise we can say that it is in the form of crystals. Okay, so that crystal form is we are getting means that pure substance we got. Okay, so that process is known as crystallization. This is a very good separation method more compared to evaporation. Okay, from the evaporation water is evaporating and going, but it is not purifying. But here crystallization process we are doing that time pure impure substance are separating from that. Okay, and finally we are getting pure substance. So crystallization is a very good method of doing that separation. Okay, and this crystallization method is very more applicable in our daily life or day-to-day life. Okay, you know that seawater is a mixture. Different particles are present in our seawater. Same like small microorganisms, fungus, and their small sea plants, animals. What more things are present in the seawater? Okay, so in that seawater some elements also, compounds also all are present there. Sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, like different things are present in the seawater. From that seawater we need to purify, and finally we need salt. You know that in Gujarat one salt purifying area is there. The name of that area is Kutch. Okay, so in that Kutch area what they are doing, they are purifying the salt from the seawater. So like our paddy field in our here in Kerala we know that paddy field is there. Same like their salt field is there. That means in that area what they will do means salt water they are collecting and keeping in that area, and with the help of sunlight it will take more days, and finally it will be forming in the crystal form. Okay, like the way they are purifying or separating, maybe they are doing some chemical treatments or something, and this is the way, and after that again they will purify the substance. So from the seawater we are obtaining salt. Okay, so that is another one very good example, very good application related to the crystallization method. What is that? The salt we are obtained from the seawater. That is the very good and first application. And same like you heard about alum? What is mean by alum? You know the general formula of alum? No. So I'm going to tell about alum only. So alum is a chemical compound. They have a general formula. This is the general formula of the alum. Okay, XAlSO4 twice 12H2O. What is the name means? Hydrated double sulfate of aluminium. And there is the X is here using. That means in that place some other elements also they can come. Maybe. Okay. So in some cases it is in place of X it will come K. K means potassium. Okay. And other case otherwise it will come chromium. Chrome alum. Okay. Chromium will come. Or otherwise sulfur. S. S means sulfur. So these are the some different elements that is coming in the place of this X. X means it is generally we are representing not only one compound, another some other elements also joined in this alum section. So that is the reason alum is often referred to as, or otherwise we are calling as potash alum. Okay, so that potash alum means potassium is present in that alum compound. So from this only we can understand different elements and different things are present in this alum. So this alum is used not only for the purification process, that also some other process also. In the textile industry it is used as a mordant, cleaning purpose and all. So it is used as a mordant, and in the medicinal industry, in the medicine making, that for pharmacy or the pharmacist and all they are. So they are making that, preparing that mixture. That means that's medicine. In that time also alum we are using. And another one case it is in our food preparation time also. different amount, otherwise different way they are using in the food preparation time also. And I'll show the picture of alum. Okay children, this is the picture of alum. Can you see? Yes. So this is looking like a sugar, what is that? Looking like sugar piece, like that means നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാറില്ലേ കൽക്കണ്ടം എന്നൊക്കെ, അതേപോലുള്ളൊരു സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ആണ് ഈ ആലം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ ഈ പ്രത്യേകത കൊണ്ടാണ് ഇത് ആലം നമുക്ക് പ്യൂരിഫിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ്സിനും മറ്റുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കൊക്കെ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഇതിങ്ങനെയാണ് കാണപ്പെടുന്നത്. ദിസ് സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ഈസ് ഇൻ അവർ ട്രഡീഷണൽ, ഇൻ അവർ പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയർ, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഇൻ അവർ ഗ്രാൻഡ് പേരൻസ് ഏജ്. സോ ദേ ആർ യൂസിങ് ദിസ് ആലം ടു പ്യൂരിഫൈ ദ വാട്ടർ. Okay children, so this is all the things related to the alum, and hope it is clear to you that alum is a very good substance used mainly it is using to purify the water and all, and in other area medicinal field, food preparation, otherwise in some other case and textile industry and all it is using. So the alums are very good to purify the solution or otherwise water. Water purification process in this alum compounds are using more to purify the solution. So that also for in the drinking water case and all, what we will do, we will take this alum and it is you are adding that solution, and finally we will get a purified drinking water. Next the point is the water purification is there, that time I will explain little more. Okay children, so these are the applications of crystallization. So this crystallization, they have a very good this method have a very good importance in our day-to-day life or daily life. And one more thing I want to tell, that in our Saudi Arabia, you know that there is drinking water they are obtaining from the sea water. They are purifying the sea water, and from that sea water they are making that drinking water. Okay, they are completely purifying the sea water, and after that from that only they are collecting. We don't have any problem for drinking water, right? Because we have lakes are there, ponds are there, from the mountain side and all, more water we will get. But Saudi Arabia is a island like space or area, it is surrounded with sea water only. So they have no other way to take drinking water. So what they will do, sea water they will use this crystallization method, they will use and purify the sea water, and they are collecting the drinking water. Okay, that is a very good application. Okay children, so now you understood about the crystallization method, right? And next point we are going to learn about the purification of drinking water. Just now I told that in Saudi Arabia and all, drinking water have a major role is there, right? Then we don't know about how to purify the water, right? Sea water or any other impurity water or any that type of mud water, what it is there. From that, how we are getting pure water or a drinking water, that we are going to discuss. You know that in the city side and all, the water is coming through the pipes, right? We know that, right? So okay, so what we will do means, in the city side, what they will collect the water in one reservoir, where we are keeping water in that area, that is known as reservoir. Okay, so in that reservoir they are collecting the water, and they will keep the water for little time. For what means, they are taking in there, what process is happening there means, first one process is sedimentation. What is meant by sedimentation means, children? Sedimentation means, we already know that impurities are present in that water, right? So little more big particles are there, smaller and nano particles are there, what it is there. So that big particles also present in there. So what we will do means, some big impurities they are going to settle down in that case, in that sedimentation process. For that purpose, they are keeping water in a reservoir for some time. They are not disturbing that, they are keeping in one place and all. After depositing the big particles and all it is there, what they will do, they will take that one into the next stage. In that stage, what is happening means, the second stage name is known as loading. Okay, in your textbook you can see the pictures of that one. Can you see, children? Listen here. This is that reservoir I told you. Here water is keeping, right? And the second stage is sedimentation stage. And this is known as, the second tank is known as sedimentation tank. Here sedimentation is happening there, means big particles are going and separating, it is going and collecting down. That means on the bottom of the tank. Okay, and after that it is directly go to next stage. It is known as it is sedimentation. After the sedimentation process, the sediment, the suspended impurities are present there, and there here another one container is there. Okay, children, you can see that there is a loading tank is there. So in this tank, big particles are there. We are adding alum. That substance is used to purify the water solution. Okay, that impure water. And we are adding alum in this loading tank. That process is known as loading. So the impure substance and all, it is clean because with the help of alum. Okay, and that water again we are sending through a filtration tank. The last method, third method is filtration. That is, so that in that filtration tank you can see that there is a 3 coarse layer is there. In the 3 coarse layer, in the first coarse gravel is there. You can see the down to bottom of the filtration tank. Okay, the big size it is. The first layer is coarse gravel and the second layer is fine gravel, and the third layer is fine sand. Okay, so 3 layers they are already arranged here, and our water we are going to send through this filtration tank. So going through these 3 layers of filtration tank, what will happen means it is completely pure and it is purified. Okay, after that it is slowly passed through the next stage. So you can see here another one container. That in that container what is happening means the last and final stage, that is chlorination process is happening there. Okay, so in that chlorination process means chlorine substance, that is bleaching powder, we are adding in this water. For what is the reason we are adding bleaching powder? You know that, right? Bleaching powder helps to chlorinate the water. That means it is removing and killing the bacteria. Okay, so chlorination process, after the chlorination process the water will be completely pure and it is used to fit. Okay, so it is we can use it as a drinking water. So from that after chlorination it will go sent through the pipes or otherwise to send to our home. So this is the things happening in the or otherwise water purification system in our water works. Okay. Okay, children, now it is very clear that how to purify water for using in our daily life or otherwise in water purification system. That water we are taking as we are checking whether it is fit or not to drink. Okay, so which are the 4 methods in that water purification system? They are sedimentation, loading, filtration and chlorination. These 4 methods they are doing and they are purifying our impure water and finally we are getting pure water. Okay, so now it is clear what is crystallization and what is the purification process and all, right, children? Okay, and the last and final point is physical and chemical changes. That term is very familiar to you because in the lower class we are studying about all that case, right? So in the physical changes and chemical changes, these are depends on the properties of a substance. What is mean by physical property? Physical property means they have separate properties are there related to a substance. They are maybe they have fluidity is there, rigidity is there, hardness is there, and they have a little more maybe some in case of metals and all they are sonorous and they are good conductors of heat and electricity and all that case. All these are we are telling that they are the properties, right? So generally the general appearance, their shape, size and their color, all these are we are calling them as their physical nature or otherwise physical properties. So what is happening in these physical changes? Yeah, the name only we can understand. Changes means these physical properties are changing. Okay, so it is changing and the properties are little changed and they are making other one substance. That means other, but the character inside that it is, we know that it is physical, right? Simple example I will tell that water and ice. You know that water is a liquid substance. So if we are keeping little water in the refrigerator, after 1 hour or 2 hour, we will get an ice cube, right? That means, so liquid substance freezes and change the states of matter, and finally we get the solid substance, right? So that is the reason we are telling that physical change happen. How we can understand from that? Yes, that same ice cube we are keeping in our room, what will happen? Because of the atmosphere and the temperature present in our room, it starts to melting, right? So the ice cubes are melting and we are getting water, right? Again this water we are keeping in the refrigerator, what will happen? It will be again freezed and we will get solid ice cubes, right? So this is a very good example for the physical change. So it is a reversible change and this is a temporary change. There is no other new substances are producing because it is changed the shape, or otherwise it's the states of matter is changed. This is known as physical change. Can you say some examples related to the physical change? Yes, we can say simply tearing the paper. After that the paper we can fix it, but the correct paper like that we will not get. Same like different things we can do. So temporary changes or temporary things. Okay. So if the reaction or a change is happening in the temporary case, that means it is reversible. Again we can change this, we can recollect and we can come to the first stage, means the change is temporary. We can say some example, that first change, freezing of water or water change to form again ice. So that is a very good example of physical change. And the next time we are going to discuss about the chemical changes. In the name only we can understand chemical, that word is there. That means it is a chemical process. How we can understand? Chemical means there is the process is after the result. The result is a new one. When we starting, the simple example will tell that rusting of iron. So we know that in the first case iron where we are keeping in one place, we are keeping, and with the help of the presence of air and the presence of oxygen, it will take a long time. Finally it got rusted. The brown color, that coating will be come on the top of that iron knife or whatever it is. So in that case what is happen means, that brown coating is there, means the substance is rusted or rusting of iron happened in that case. So a new substance produced. That is permanent changes. Why? Because that brown color, that is rusted substance, again it will not change and it will come to the first stage. It will not happen. Same like curd. The milk is changed into curd. When we are keeping one glass of milk in our room, and after the next day we are going and seeing that, we can see that the milk is changed to curd because of the bacteria attack, right? So that is a chemical change. Again this curd is not changed to form milk. So it is a chemical process. It is a chemical reaction. There is no reversibility is there. It is not reversible, and also there is no change happen there, and it is a permanent change, right? Same like cooking of food. We are taking all the vegetables and preparing the dish, and after preparing dish it is a new substance, right? So the new substance again we can't change the first form. We cannot separate them into the first form of vegetables. We can't do. So these are the different types of chemical changes is there. So in your surroundings just observe that what are physical changes and what are chemical changes and all. So these two terms, is it clear to you? I am thinking. Okay. So these are the important things in our lesson in this area and all. Okay children. So this is the last part of the section. in this lesson. And last one more point is there, that elements, pure substance and compounds are there, that we already discussed in the first video or in the first class of this lesson. So we know that pure substance means only one kind of atoms are present and the elements are there and the compounds are there, mixtures are there. Classification and all we done in the first class. Okay, so we know that elements are only one kind of atoms are present. The elements can be divided into three: metals, non-metals and metalloids and all it is there. And compounds means two or more substances are combined together, maybe in fixed ratio and all. And this is, after that we are getting the compounds. And mixtures means different substances are joined together in a fixed ratio or otherwise not in a fixed ratio also. And this type of things are known as mixtures. These mixtures are divided into two, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Detailed classes we done already, right? So homogeneous case, only one kind of atoms are present there and they are uniformly distributed in that solution. And the heterogeneous mixture means they are not in uniformly distributed, different it is. So okay children, all these are the important terms and important things and different separation methods and daily life activity related things, and all these are present in this chapter. Hope you understood all that things. Okay children, thanks for watching.